Ivan Paspaldzhiev from Ernst & Young Denkstatt. We're a consulting company. I'm senior manager responsible for biodiversity and natural capital services. And our demonstration project concerns how to help companies better track the benefits of nature restoration projects, how to enable companies to use the results of nature restoration projects in order to benefit some core business requirements to do with reporting, to do with target setting, to do with tracking progress and reporting to stakeholders. Yes, so our seed of change is twofold. Firstly, we want to take this concept of natural capital accounting, which has a lot of traction in the academic world, in the sort of United Nations sphere of the world. There's a United Nations standard for accounting, for example, but there is very little traction on how this is actually applied in the business context. There's very little actual case studies. What we want to do is to take this accounting concept and apply it to nature restoration projects so we can use it in order to track progress. But to be able to track this progress, we need to give specific guidance on what methodologies you need to put in there in order to measure something that meets various reporting and business requirements, and we need to give you the rules for how to track that over time. So our seed of change is a guidance for how to do nature restoration projects properly in order to be able to benefit the business, in order to be able to then talk to various other colleagues in the company, in order to be able to procure these projects and to convince them to give us the budgets in order to make them successful. In our ecosystem services world, we very often talk to like-minded people. So we talk to colleagues, we talk to fellow scientists, we talk to people who are in the sustainability department, but it's very difficult for us to talk to other people inside companies because the people who will give the money for the restoration projects are the chief financial officer, the procurement manager, and various other people who have different things to do and don't necessarily understand the details of nature restoration. They know it's great, but they may not necessarily want to invest so much in it because it does cost money. What we want to achieve with SELINA is to be able to provide the language for how exactly a project should be structured in order to benefit various things that these other stakeholders need to be doing. To track targets, to set goals, to talk to investors, and to demonstrate that the company is really investing in nature restoration, is really making some progress that you can prove, that you can audit, and that you can show to the world and be very confident that this is an actual real impact. So our question sounds simple, but it's actually a bit complicated. We want to answer for specific benefits of restoration, such as benefits for water, such as keeping more water inside an ecosystem, or benefits for carbon sequestration. We want to answer the question, okay, if I want to really prove that my company has an impact on this and we are doing something good for the world, and we want to use this for our various reporting requirements, which is an entire world of standards with its own rules and its own regulations and its own minimum practice that you need to cover, then what do I need to put inside my procurement document? What methodology do I need to request from the people who implement my project? What methodology do I need to use in order to track progress over time? And in the end, have this in a nice structured format so that I can give it to my colleague in the procurement department, and they don't need to worry about this. They just need to go and find me people who can deliver this specific scope of work that I know will serve my end goals. Because this is the typical gap. We want to invest in restoration. We know it's great, but we're not exactly sure how to track progress. And the tracking progress part is what's stopping us from doing more, because in the end we can't use what we've bought. Well, if we know what the rules are, then we can maybe use it and we can maybe buy more because we need it. We start from the point of view of what are external business requirements. So what do the regulations require, but also what do best practice standards require? Because the business world has its own universe of requirements, some of which are quite established, some of which are emerging. Some, for example, the Nature Positive initiative, are specifically focused on nature restoration and proving nature restoration on the ground. So what we want to do is we want to give specific guidance on methodologies and accounting practice that enable us to answer these requirements. So this is the end goal that we are trying to address. We want to address core business requirements that are coming from the external world, and we want to do it via nature restoration, because nature restoration ecosystem services means carbon. Carbon is something companies track and set targets on. What it means water. Some companies have targets specifically for restoring water in nature. And there's various other ecosystem services that we could talk about, but these are two major ones that definitely would fit the bill. The specific benefit that we anticipate is we should make it obvious for sustainability people inside a company how to get their colleagues to take nature restoration seriously. Because if they can say, if we have certain requirements to meet, and nature restoration allows us to meet these requirements, well, here's the rules we need to follow, and here's the methodologies we need to use. This then enables us to very precisely make an estimate of how much this costs. Do we have the proper providers for this? To be able to issue a quotation, to be able to issue a request for proposals, and to be able to source the necessary external services we need in order to be able to deliver. This is what we anticipate we will be able to do more, because we will make it clear exactly what it is you're buying. Is specifically how to do accounting properly. So accounting in the business world does not mean natural capital accounting, it means financial accounting. In the world of financial accounting, there are various rules on how you put numbers inside an Excel table and how you track those numbers consistently over time. There are decades of practice for how to do this, and it's very serious business. People go in, they audit, they pay lots of money to be able to have a robust financial statement. We want to be able to enable the same for nature statements. We want to be able to enable, if you have a restoration project, you're monitoring things accurately and consistently over time, and the numbers you present are defensible numbers that really show that you've made an impact. This is what we want to show in practice, because there is the system of economic and environmental accounts in principle. It has not been applied so much in the business context. This is what we want to show. How do we apply and adapt to a business context, so then we can make some numbers that financial people understand.